lovely people. I'm Sinead, and welcome. I have over here been working on setting up this bathroom in a different arrangement to decide how to proceed. I'm not sure yet how I want to create the toilet and the sink, and that's what those little chairs are representing. But I know that I want I want them to go there, and they need to be somewhere close to that depth from the wall to work within the space. And what I wanted to do today is a couple of things. And I'm going to turn the camera around and get you closer in here so you can see what I'm talking about. But I wanted to point out that I decided to, if you watched Wednesday's video about stringing the beads on chain or creating a chain, I went ahead and changed to putting that in line and got rid of the owl that was dangling, and I can wear it as well as okay, it's not that I couldn't wear it before, I could wear it before, but I don't like the dangling thing flopping about and hitting me. So I took it off and changed the arrangement, and now I can wear it and also use it for that focus prayer bead type thing. Anyway, if you saw the video, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you didn't see the video, go back and find out what I'm talking about. So I'm going to turn it around now. Okay, so you can see this side over here has a little chair that represents the future sink, and this represents the future toilet, and I have rearranged, the bathtub at an angle, and the shelving I want to put actually up on the wall and add a towel bar to the bottom of it. So that's one of the projects we're going to work on today, and the other is some photos, or not photos, but frame pictures for the kitchen area over here. They're all in there enjoying some food. And I also wanted to add over here, you'll note that the pictures now have frames, and that was simply putting white cardstock behind the picture to give it a border. And it works best on the boulder wall. I think that maybe on the pastel wall I could have used a bolder color, like I could have used orange or yellow as the framework, and I may go back and do that. I'll just have to cut away the cardstock and put some different cardstock on there. You know what? I have green cardstock. I think I'm going to do that instead. I think that'll pop really well, and it'll go with the green in the room. So maybe we'll pull that off the wall and do that as well. So let's go over to the desk and start working on those projects. Okay, so I have painted a dowel, or this was probably a skewer. I don't know. It was a scrap that was left over, and I painted it white. So I am going to, let's get this on the front. Oh, and everything in here, except the washcloths and towels, are, I used poster putty, the Blue Tack brand, to hold in place. And I will say that most of the time it doesn't leave marks or anything, but just recently I'm noticing that it is leaving marks on some surfaces, so be aware of that if you use it. But I am going to use 2-part epoxy to glue this dowel in here behind the legs to create a towel bar right there. And yeah, 2-part epoxy. I've been using Magic Sculpt, and I have switched to using weight to determine the mix. And I think I want to attach it to the wall as well, because this week I was trying to use the poster putty to hold this up on the wall where I want it, and it fell off. It was just too heavy for the poster putty. So, and that's reasonable, that it would be too heavy. So I am looking to try and get 3 grams, I think, on here. And then I'll get 3 grams of the other.
We can just skip this part if you like. Getting a little old and stuck. Well, it's always been stuck, but I think when it gets older, it gets more cantankerous to get out of there. Yeah, I get a personality. There we go, 3 grams. So I am going to take all these little bits and squish them together so that they're not rolling around on here as I try to get the other. We'll double check the weight on that. Okay, zero it out. My little digging spoons are from actually a supplement bottle, but I use finding your tools wherever you can, right? Spots. And don't think we're going to have to do much further. Oh, more than I thought. So close. And one thing you don't want to do is mix up your tools that you use for each part. Or you have a problem. Oh, that's weird. Okay, we're there. And yes, you should wear gloves for this. Do as I tell you, not as I do. Yeah, you feel free to ignore me at all stages of anything that I do.
So I'm going to have to bring, or I don't have to, but I want to bring the actual room over here and put it on its back and lay this in there to glue it, rather than trying to get it to stick to the wall. And like I did on the cardboard dollhouse, with the kitchen cabinets, because, you know, there was no way to lay that wall on its back once it was in. So I just put the glue up there and hoped, and it worked. And I could do that again. But I'm thinking this plastic may be part of my problem. In the cardboard dollhouse, the cabinets were cardboard, and they might be just a little bit lighter weight. And I think we're there. They might be, you know, just that much lighter so that that's too much. Or so that it doesn't pull down with the glue. Anyway, I just did not trust the glue to hold. Trying to get it on the same side. Can you see what I'm doing? I mean, this isn't rocket science or anything. I'm just trying to get it neatly stuck in. And close enough to the bottom to get a towel through there. And I am going to take the rest of this and set it on paper towel. Wow. Okay. Maybe I should be doing this from the other side. I don't know. It was so much easier with the poster putty. That's how I tested it, to see if it would work. I was like, will this actually work back there and look right? Yeah, it looks great. But when you go to use the actual glue, I don't know. I think it's that I'm using more glue than I did poster putty. Maybe that's a mistake. Yeah, that's feeling really weird. Gonna pull some of that away. Now, sticking it into the room hopefully won't be as complicated. I don't know. It might end up being, you know, your best laid plans, right? And I'd really like to go get this cleaned off my fingers. Now, if you use tools, remember you got to get them clean soon. Don't leave it set or you'll ruin your tool.
Okay, we're just going for smooth. Oh, bummer. Come on, it's not that hard to just stick in place. Make me regret using the weight method, I think. This usually works just fine, but no, you're filming it. So of course it's going to be all kinds of, I don't know what. Try one more time on here.
Okay, here we have the bathroom up here, and I am applying the 2-part epoxy to the back of the shelves. I've had one thing fall off the shelf, and I will have to put that back later when my hands are clean. So we're trying to get this in here. I am looking at this and going, oh, look, our shelves are crooked. There we go. And then just press it into place. Did I show you the glue on the back? Of course I didn't. I forgot. I just took a piece and flattened it out on the back side in this area and this area on both sides, so that both of these units were glued to the wall, not just one of them. And then we're pressing down. You can kind of see, maybe tip it this way. And you see that little bit of an irregular line right down there? That is the glue squeegeeing out as it gets pressed to the wall. And we've got some flex going on here as the 2 cabinets. And I'm trying really hard not to touch that towel bar. Okay. I think I'm going to give it one more look over for... It doesn't look too wonky, does it? We aren't... Okay, when I look at it through the camera, I can see a crooked... Wow, it doesn't look that crooked when I'm looking at it with the naked eye. Weird. Pretty sure that's the same from the top to the bottom, but maybe not. Maybe the camera is giving it away. Interesting. All right, we're gonna... Yeah. Does that look straighter? Okay, I think that's... We're gonna... I heard it make a popping noise, so we're gonna make sure that it's stuck again. And set it aside and let it dry, and we'll move on to the next project. This is actually another kit for picture frames, but it's really simple, and you could do this with cardstock. Simply have a, sorry, distracted by the fact that I forgot to put the lid back on the 2-part epoxy over here. It's not imperative, but I like to keep it covered. All right, focus. That command was for me, not you. So it's simply a rectangle with a frame that fits over it. And just like I discovered with the pictures I had in there, you can do your frame from the back side if you want. But yeah, this could be done with cardstock or cardboard. You could cut out a a rectangle to go over the top of whatever it is you want to put there. And this is a piece of the wallpaper that I glued onto this oval picture frame, and then used a Sharpie to turn it into a clock face. And then I will paint this yellow and glue it over the top like that. And I'll have a clock for the kitchen. I got this out of my scrapbook supplies. And my thought here was to glue this and have it framed like about like that. Just this part, obviously. So that's what I plan to do here, was to try and get that glued in place on the back of that in the right place. And I, you know, could cut it out and then put it together. But I don't know. I liked doing it this way. I like this. It's the first time, that clock was the first time I've ever done it that way, and I kind of liked it. I think it felt easier. Not in a special in some way, but it just felt easier to just take the larger piece and stick it behind here. And I'm going to admit that now I'm going to take it and put it up towards the light, or shine a light behind it. In fact, why don't I show you that? I don't want to blind you doing this, so hopefully you can see where, when you shine a light behind it, where it is, and then you can center the part of the picture, get it squared up the way you want it before you fully press it in place. So I'm going to do that over here. Ooh, let's see. My concern at doing this in front of the camera is that you're going to get blinded. I want that up a little more. I'm blinding myself. I'm concerned about blinding you, and I just like too much light in my eyes. And you can pick up your frame. Am I keeping that covered? Hopefully. And check and see how it's going. You got the part you want. And yes, I do. Okay. I'm going to take the light away. Yeah, I'm going to have trouble seeing for the rest of the day. It's much easier to just use the light in the room, you know? It's not quite so bright. Then I'm just pressing it down fully. There is something in there. Like, I don't know. It was like a piece of paper. Okay. My guess is the ding, if you heard it in the background, is the kids on their way home. Yay. And on this one, I was really kind of liking that view, where it's centered mostly on the two flowers, but you can see, you know, at the edges, other blossoms. So that's what I'm going to try and do, and I'll probably use one closer to the end. Get the glue on there. And we're just using Elmer's. Nothing special. This part maybe keeps it from wrinkling too bad. And yeah, I have a paper towel. Clean up. I put too much. Okay. Excess removed. I'm going to need that light again, or actually I'm going to use the overhead light. So while you can't see what I'm doing, I'm not blinding either one of us. Okay, I feel like that is where I want it, so you'll be able to see the edges as I press it down there. Ooh, that indicates I've got it crooked. Well, you know, I guess it doesn't matter. Then you flip it over. Ooh, look at that. It did slide. I was trying to keep it even with the edge of the paper. It just slid right over. Okay. All right, so you put it down on your, like a cutting board. And I got stacked cutting boards here. Cutting mats. They're not cutting boards, they're cutting mats. Your craft knife, and I think that one looks like it needs to be replaced. Be right back. And we're just going to cut around the board. So I guess that's where this being wood is an advantage, is that it's easier to cut and not cut into the whatever you've glued to. There was a little bit over here. Trimmed that off. And now it's stuck. And then I will paint this probably yellow and glue it in place. And I've got a picture for the kitchen to go with our flower fairy theme. When back in the early aughts, I got those very same fairies that are on the wallpaper there as individual, what did we call those? I want to call it an applique, which it's an individual element that you stick on your wall or whatever. And I took those little flower fairies, like the ones that on this clock. I had them in, like, they were like 6 inches, I think. And I put them on my cabinets. And I had the oak cabinets that were popular in the 80s. And I just sprinkled them around my kitchen on the cabinets. And it added a little bit of whimsy. And it was something I could easily remove because it was a rental. And not have to worry about, you know, upsetting the landlord. Although that landlord was a gem. He would not have been upset, was not upset with anything I did to that house. So, yeah, one of those situations. Anyway, I kind of think that the composition on these two turned out really cool. And once I get the frames painted and them hung in the kitchen, I'll show you. I forgot these lovely pictures here. Now, when I did these initially on the cardstock, I just used glue stick, which made it to where I was actually able to peel them away. So I'm I'm going to use the Elmer's this time. Remember not to use too much. And after I just stick it down in a corner, if my corners look good, like my piece of cardstock, if the corner's all dog-eared, don't stick it down there. But I am just eyeballing away from this one edge. I think I'm going to trim up the other edge. Maybe. But then you just take a ruler, and of course there's not one out. Give yourself a distance. Again, you can measure all this. This could totally be just, you know, very carefully measured out. But I am going by eye. Maybe not the best choice, but here we are. And hopefully that won't get glue. I'm creating a frame. Now, the light color of the wall is green, but this lime green should really pop. It should make it stand out on the wall as framed. And then I'll just do the same thing with the other one. Well, here you can see the photos and the clock back there. And don't forget that there are patterns available, or you can order custom made the various different dolls on my website. If you wanted to make your own doll of this 6-inch size, or if you want clothing, I have patterns for both, and clothing patterns that'll fit the 6-inch doll as well. And then when we move over here to the bathroom, I have some cutouts that were also part of the decorating kit that I got those painted and stuck there. And I think that the shelving unit looks pretty good. And there's our cardstock frames over there. I hope that you have enjoyed this and you have a delightful day and a wonderful week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.